Live to Washington, D.C., the capital, setting sun. There's a flood watch now for Washington, D.C., starting late tomorrow night. Across the Northeast, let's take a look at the impacts you will be seeing from Hurricane Sandy. Yeah, some pretty major impacts. We'll be watching for flooding, both of the coastal variety and inland, widespread power line damage from winds, and we'll certainly be seeing the chance of some flooding. So please, low-lying areas, be ready to move to higher ground. Let's send it over to the Global Forecast Center. We're going in-depth with hurricane specialist Dr. Greg Pustow.
Thanks, Warren. Right now, Sandy is continuing to move to the northeast, just a little over 10 miles an hour. It's about 350 miles east of Jacksonville, Florida. That's where the center of circulation is here, right underneath that cluster of thunderstorms. That's the hurricane-like part of this circulation, but it also has wide-reaching effects. This is the nor'easter component to it, with a lot of heavy rainfall right now along the coast, the eastern coast of South Carolina and North Carolina. Let's zoom in on the North Carolina coast. You can see a very heavy rain band that is set up. It's actually not moved over the last several hours, certainly producing a lot of heavy rains and gusty winds in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range, at least in that region. But if you look at the water vapor imagery, this gives you a sense of atmospheric motion and also where dry air and moist air is. With the center of circulation of Sandy right here, you get the sense that there's some dry air that's been brought into circulation, and that's been the case now for over a day. This is part of the whole jet stream becoming involved in the circulation and in part helping it expand. So what we're going to see with Sandy over the next couple of days is the circulation growing in size. Here's the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center. It's a 75 mile per hour storm. 960 was actually the latest measured pressure on it, and we have moving northeast at 13 miles an hour. The cone continues on that northeastward track over the next 24 to 30 hours perhaps, but then Sunday night, early Monday morning, it takes that left turn. The center, the whole circulation does, and the center will likely come across, we think now, the New Jersey coast late Monday evening. But again, with such a huge circulation, we're going to have impacts all the way from Maine to the Carolinas. They're even getting it right now, as we just saw. But widespread wind event with lots of heavy rain, widespread power outages may affect tens of millions there. Now on Sunday, here's the timing for it. Let's break it down. We have the rain increasing certainly on the Virginia coast, Maryland, Delaware shores, Jersey coast, winds 25 to 40 sustained with beach erosion likely. And then there we go ahead on Monday. Things get much worse. For the folks in Delaware, New Jersey, New York, you need to finish your preparations tomorrow because Monday conditions will deteriorate very quickly. We'll have the winds increase all afternoon, getting to, we think, 30 to 50 miles an hour sustained, certainly along the coast, with gusts to 75 miles per hour. The winds aloft are howling, and if we have some heavy rain showers, we can bring maybe some gusts over 75 miles per hour to some locations. And we have coastal flooding, major coastal flooding, in particular north of where the center of Sandy goes. And if we have it there coming on board the central New Jersey coast, that will pile a lot of water up into northern Jersey, Long Island, and even New York City. So moving forward to Tuesday, here we go. Heavy rains continue. Winds 25 to 45 sustained with gusts to 70 plus. And we cannot forget, perhaps at the tail end of this storm, we do have some heavy wet snow that might very well impact a significant part of the higher elevations of West Virginia, with maybe over a foot, perhaps even 2 feet of snow, and in some cases maybe even more. We'll have more on that later. Back to Dave. Actually, we're going to send it to Dave Malkoff right here.
Yeah, Dr. Greg, last hour we took you to the White House where President Obama was praising the American Red Cross for all they do and will do in this storm. But this is an election year. If you're looking for an October surprise, maybe this storm is the October surprise, really throwing a monkey wrench in both presidential campaigns, not just for Mr. Obama, but for Governor Romney as well.
I was looking forward to being in Virginia tomorrow, but you know, the hurricane is headed up there, and I just spoke with the governor, Governor McDonnell, and the governor and I talked about that. He said, you know, the first responders really need to focus on preparation for the storm. So we're not going to be able to be in Virginia tomorrow. We're going to go to Ohio instead, but I hope you'll keep...
Now, a lot of people having to change their plans, including the Romney campaign, the Obama campaign, and also the vice presidential campaigns as well. They had to change some of their organizations that they had down in Florida. They had some rallies set for there. They had to scrap those, and now they're looking to early voters. Maybe maybe the storm is going to stop them from coming out, so that could really mess up some of the major campaigns in this area. So back to you, Warren.
All right, thanks very much. As we track Hurricane Sandy, we're getting in some great video from our viewers. This is a new eyewitness video, and just in from Virginia Beach, waves battering the coast. We've had reports of water levels already up 2 feet around the mouth of Chesapeake Bay, Virginia Beach, and Hampton Roads area. Now, if you can do it safely, send us your video and pictures to eyewitness@weather.com or weather.com/eyewitness. You can also upload it directly with the Weather Channel app. Head off to the App Store and get it